when it starts.
Hi, my name's Shawn Shaler. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka The Objective Geek, aka the shorter version of Shannon Sharp. I'm the more likable Skip Bayless. This is the mildly disputed. And welcome to Avatar.
The mildly dis-
And Chris, I don't have
Hey, Jenna. Skip.
I don't have a Skip
Skip.
Bayless impression.
What club shake?
I've spent all week thinking of something that Skip Bayless would say, and the best I've got
My
is
turn. Yeah, there's notes. My turn.
The best thing I came up with
Shannon
is
Sharp.
the Los Angeles Lakers would be better off without Russell Westbrook, even if they get nothing in return. They should cut Russell Westbrook, something like that, like very extreme. Skip Bayless. I don't have the impression, but that feels like something he would say, and also something I believe in this case. But I swear I'm nicer than Skip Bayless. That's a low bar. I think I'm notably nicer than Skip Bayless's TV persona. He might be a nice person. Maybe. Maybe not. Hard to say. Anyway, welcome to Avatar The Last Podcasters. Today we do have not a debate, so it doesn't qualify for mildly disputed, but a great question proposed to us by a fan. I'll let Chris get to that in a minute. But Chris, before we do that, how you been? What have you been up to?
I've been good. Same old as ever. Nothing new. Nothing's changed, which is fine by me.
It is a really stark contrast going from your Shannon Sharp to your regular Chris. It's very stark. I'm going to turn my volume up here a little bit. Awesome. You know what? Sometimes no change is good. And I don't know where I was trying to transition with that. I don't have one. My wife is out of town, and the girls are not here for the night. They're with respite care, which is a like foster care for your foster kids, that you get a couple nights a month. And I wanted to sleep. So, Chris, as excited as I am to talk to you, I've never been so excited to go to bed in my whole life. I don't think. I don't think ever been so excited to go to bed. But that being said, I'm looking forward to talking about this first, and otherwise life is good, for the record. Chris, why don't you tell us more about the topic and the person who introduced it?
Yes, the person introduced it. Probably a new viewer, I would guess. His name is Outlaw Cowboy. We can either call him Outlaw or we can call him Cowboy.
Can I call him OC?
OC. But he wrote under our last video, recommended a video topic, a podcast idea topic. In my eyes, you know how when you buy a car and then you start seeing that car more and more because your brain is now wired to see it. I am wired to just pick up the word objective out of anything. And so before I even read this, I just saw objective dick. Because either it was a typo or he's calling me dick. I don't think so because the rest of the message is fairly polite. But I was like, at first I thought he was arguing me about something because that happens on YouTube all the time. I was like, oh, someone called me objective dick. That's a new one. But no, he was. I don't think he was.
Nobody has ever once called you the objective dick. It's sort of endearing in the sense of they left the objective. Like, no, I'm going to give him his credit first. Yeah. Then I'm going to let him know that I hate him.
Yeah. But he says, have you ever thought about doing a what if scenario on what if Azula killed Iroh? I honestly think that would change Zuko and make him want to join Team Avatar a lot sooner than what he did in the original timeline. Let me know what you think about that, my guy. See, the rest sounds very...
Let me know what you think about that, Dirk.
The rest sounds pretty polite, so I think it was just maybe
maybe it's a term of endearment in his mind, in which case I will choose to speak that language and say, okay.
So today's video is what if Azula killed Iroh? He didn't specify on when, but I'm assuming... I sort of had this thought also, because I was listening along with the official Avatar podcast by Janet Varney and Dante Bosco.
The official one. Got it.
Yeah, the official one. Jason Mantzoukas on the latest episode.
Every week.
Yeah, Jason Mantzoukas was on the latest episode. He's always funny and like this. I just want him to play Varric one day. It'll be so cool. I know he won't. I know he's not Native American or even indigenous, but he just.
But do you have to be to play Varric? And also, what is Jason Mantzoukas ethnically? I wonder. ethnic. Days are ethnic.
he-
Yeah, I think
I
he's
read into it. He is. Only thing I could find is that he's Greek.
okay.
That seems very vague to me. I didn't know. I didn't. There must be something else in there. I mean, I'm not a what you call those people who look into. I'm not,
Genealogist or something like that.
yes. I'm not a
Anthropologist.
genealogist, but he got something in him.
Okay.
He's yeah.
Well,
Probably
so I
more than
mean,
just
it's still European, but I got to be honest. If you would just look at him, that like you could very easily convince me, like, no, he's
yeah.
not
And
European.
also
I'd be
the
like,
water.
okay,
Also the yeah. There could be some diversity in the water. I mean, you got the southern swamp, which isn't like as Native American or indigenous as the southern and the what I say the no, I said the swamp. Yeah, the swamp isn't nearly as that as the southern or the northern
it's a big
tribes. And
world.
then
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big world. Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, yeah, he said he grew up on a farm, so he probably grew up somewhere in the Earth Kingdom, but he probably has family in the
Jason
water tribe. He probably
Mantzukas
identifies
or
as far.
Varick grew up on a farm.
No, very,
Okay.
very grew up on a farm.
What? Maybe I don't know where Jason's from.
That's true. Anyway, gosh, anyway, I was saying. So they're on. I was
My
having this recent
turn.
thought
My
also
turn.
because
Sorry, I'm done.
I was having this recent thought because they just recently reviewed the episode The Chase. Yes, The Chase. Where Azula gets cornered by everybody on Team Avatar, Iroh and Zuko. And to distract them, she shoots a fire blast at Iroh. So that is going to be the flashpoint here, that instead of just like wounding him, she actually kills him.
I think based on the context, like what he gave you in the comment about Zuko joining sooner and such, that feels as applicable as anything I would have thought of. I didn't even think past it because I was like, hey, what's the flashpoint? And you said that, and I said, that sounds great because it does. Let's roll with that.
All right. So,
Um,
question. You
thanks.
said you've given this a little bit more thought. Yes, thank you.
I
Yeah,
already
if,
forgot
and
the
then
name.
if
Cowboy,
outlaw
Outlaw
cowboy.
Cowboy. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're the one that said OC. Come on, Sean.
OC. I did say that. My
Oh.
bad.
And if anyone else have any ideas, please share. We are open to doing different ideas and things and such. Um, Sean, you said you're giving this a little bit more thought. I like to get going kind of just fresh, but so I'll let you get started on what happens after that flashpoint. Azula is cornered. She says a princess knows when to give up. She looks at everybody. She looks at Iroh. She blasts him with a fire blast to the face. Down he goes. They all throw their bidding at her. She somehow miraculously gets away. And then Zuko is hovering over a now lifeless Iroh.
So I genuinely tried to give it more thought because if I come to these things unprepared, I just don't have your mental capacity, and so I will be useless. So I got to give it a little more thought. This one, all I got was I wonder. All I got to is I wonder how it affects Zuko's journey. You can make the argument that he joins Team Avatar sooner. You can make the argument that he disappears off the face of the planet. I think I think we will discuss that Zuko's motivations would eventually drive him toward Team Avatar sooner or later. But then the other question I
Mm.
asked was big picture. Does this mean that Zuko doesn't achieve, or that Iroh doesn't achieve Nirvana, and we like just don't get him in the Legend of Korra at
That
all?
honestly, that's a good question, and I would say, oh
You
man,
don't have to answer. You know, we can walk up to that
but
part.
no, it's
I struggled
yeah,
to think through. Those are the
it's
just the two biggest things that jumped out of my brain.
so in my head, the way that he would have achieved Nirvana, like right, he's like, oh, I'm dying, I'm about to die. Okay, you know what? I'm good here. The SpongeBob meme. I'm gonna head out. So he probably
Right.
just goes into the spirit world before his body has a chance to die, and then once he physical body dies, he's just in the spirit world.
Do you think that
We're
this stage of Iroh would have done that though? Because this
would
stage
have
of
reached
Iroh has
Nirvana.
not, no, well, not that he couldn't have, but maybe because this stage of Iroh has not seen like fulfilled Zuko yet. Like this stage of Iroh is not complete Iroh.
Mm. And the thing about reaching Nirvana, I feel like, and please everyone correct me if I'm wrong, because I am not a
We
Buddhist. I am a
we are not
Christian.
in Nirvana. We work 8 to 5 jobs.
Um, But it almost feels like one of those things that goal or that task, there's something in hand that is tethering you to this constant recycle of life. Like you're constantly trying to uh, complete a goal or a task, or that's like the Avatar will never reach enlightenment because they're always battling evil. Like that's their mission in life is to battle evil. So they will continuously just recycle their lives. Iroh, at that point in time, I wonder if, like you mentioned, him trying to save Zuko, trying to prevent what happened to his son, if that tethers him to this world, and I think I think he's just as spiritual as he was probably when he reached Nirvana and was able to transcend and become a spirit as he is now, but he still has that longing goal of saving Zuko. I would, man, I feel like I'm about to
Whether
introduce some lore
whether
that's
for your
that's not.
reason,
Wait, one sec. Uh, the only the only thing that I can think of that I would one thing I think of that's not even like lore is that he's like stuck in limbo of some sorts. Like he's stuck between, and that's me making up stuff, but it seems to me it seems plausible in the Avatar world that he would be kind of stuck of an in between, which might be an interesting story. But I'm also making that completely up, just huge speculation because I have no idea.
whether it's for your reason or of Zuko being his tether, or I'm gonna throw a different reason out that I don't want people to hate me for. One of the things that we like about Zuko or about Iroh, well, Zuko too, but Iroh is that Iroh has a great arc, and we're kind of seeing him at the end of the arc within the scope of the show, and that's fine. But to suggest that like this Iroh just isn't still relatively different from like peak eventual later on Iroh, like we're pretty early in this story still, and I just don't think that like Iroh has kind of reached his sort of peak fulfilled Iroh status. I think that Iroh, whether involuntary or not, just doesn't achieve Nirvana at this time. I think Iroh dies. Much as I like your limbo theory, we can walk down that road also. I don't
Yeah,
necessarily know what that looks like, but
I
um,
just made it.
well, I gotta be honest. To me, the
I
spirit world is kind of limbo because there's probably that. I always think of what's the good place, right? That like real nirvana isn't the spirit world. Real nirvana is like when you ascend beyond that to the good place, or when you when they dissipate. Spoiler alert.
yeah.
So to me, the spirit world kind of is limbo, but I don't even think he gets there. I think he just dies.
I would probably agree with that for the different reason. I think Iroh is at a place. I think his character arc is that he's reached that peak Iroh of his internal character. He still has more to do, like make the Fire Nation better. Well, at this point, the Earth Kingdom, Boston Senga hasn't taken over, but that was very key for him. He hasn't redeemed himself to everyone quite yet, to the world. He hasn't made amends to the world yet. Not whether that was because he's not done raising.
Chris, you're freezing up just a little bit. If you can hear me, I've got you a bit stuck on Discord. Um, I hope you can hear me so you can get out and get back in. So I'm going to use this opportunity to interject. I don't know what you're saying when you froze up because I kind of lost all train of thought. I'm very tired. Did I mention that? I think that it is a fun discussion to decide, but at a minimum, to honor the spirit of the question, which is in a very literal way, what if Azula killed Iroh? In the most literal sense possible. I think I'm going to suggest that we proceed that way. Chris, hopefully you jump right back in soon. I don't know how long I can carry this conversation without you, but I'm going to presume that we can, even if we don't necessarily agree on the character peak, the character arc. There you are. Maybe. There he is. It just froze up a little, Chris. I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay.
I'm gonna propose. I gotta be honest. I don't even remember where you were in your conversation thought, and then I tried to just carry a conversation for a minute. I'm gonna propose that just to keep to the literal spirit of the question in the most literal form, even if we don't necessarily 100% agree that it's like the inevitable outcome, that we do go down that path of dead Iroh instead of
Yes.
spirit world Iroh
Yeah.
at a minimum, just to
I'm,
stick to the question.
yeah, I'm cool with that.
Throw
Oh,
us
okay.
your
So
limbo ideas though out there, crowd. Tell us what Avatar
yeah,
Limbo is.
yeah,
Sounds
that's
like a
yeah.
fun game.
Um. Okay, so Iroh's dead, dead in the as normal as people die in the Avatar universe are. Well, dead because no one ever knows who reincarnated who except for the Avatar because they have like proof of it through several different means. So Iroh's dead. So did you give any more thought to where Zuko goes? I have some type of thoughts where it can go, where it will go down a different character arc type of way. So, keep going. You have something. I say keep going, but go.
I think that Zuko. So I'm going to agree with Outlaw Cowboy. Is that Zuko does maybe get back a little sooner to Team Avatar, but
Hmm.
first of all, it's for the wrong reasons. It's less about
I
redeeming
think
Aang and
so.
more about hunting Azula. And second of all,
Yes,
still
I
before
am. Yes.
he'll grow, he'll get there. He's still Zuko. But second of all, that he still has like a weirdly self-destructive path first, where maybe he's chasing Azula on his own, just like
Ooh.
blindly, wildly, about to do something really stupid, and then you, Chris Ford, are going to come up with this brilliant instance somewhere along the line where he crosses paths with Team Avatar, and they prevent him from doing whatever this really, really bad idea is, and then he joins them with maybe mixed motivations. That's what I'm hoping happens, at
Yes,
least.
Sean, I completely 100% agree with you. He's just going to join them. I don't. Zuko after Iroh's killed, like even when he's Iroh's sitting there, and you're kind of left with the cliffhanger of like, is Iroh okay? Like, is Iroh alive? You're left with the cliffhanger of did he?
You
We
all
all know
wanted
we
more
all
death.
do.
You are getting more death.
But before it was confirmed that he had lived, he looks back at Team Avatar and says, "Leave!" and throws a fire blast at them.
A big
He still
one.
does that.
Big one.
Yeah, and then they reluctantly leave. Like Katara wants to help them, but they reluctantly leave. So that's how they split. It's easy. That's going to happen to me no matter what.
Agreed?
So we're going to split this case. And now Iroh's dead, and Zuko's all alone. Like this is Zuko, mother freaking
Would you
alone.
say
Like
Zuko
really,
alone? Is that what you'd say?
yeah,
Intended.
exactly. Uh,
I'm more
and
proud of that
he
than I should
now
be this time.
And he, like you mentioned, I was thinking the same thing. To me, he's out for vengeance now. Like this is going, this is diverging his character in a different path, but I think
You
it would
really gonna
work
look me
character
dead in the
wise.
digital eye and say the word vengeance and not a Batman voice?
I know.
I've never been more disappointed in you.
Sorry. He's out for vengeance.
Thank you.
That
Okay.
wasn't as good as I
You,
wanted it to be, but okay.
you did clear your throat. I was waiting for something big, but you know what? It's late. It's late.
Yeah.
Thank you for
All right, so
indulging me.
he's all alone, split from Team Avatar. He's now tracking Azula to kill her. So where does Azula go from here? Where does she go before, after this?
That's gonna be my
After the
tough spot.
chase?
Tough thing is remembering the specific details in between.
I know, it's weirdly, I should be able to remember off the top of my head because I believe there's the chase and then there's the drill. I think that's the next time we see Azula. Uh, oh wait, so Team Avatar, they still go to the library. They still Aqua still goes missing. They still go to Ba Sing Se. I Zuko.
You know, maybe based on what you're all telling me here, maybe Zuko doesn't really join him sooner. Maybe he does just
Ooh.
right, because just based on
Wait.
that train of thought.
Yeah. So, oh crap, that's freaking loud. I just looking at the going to Avatar. Look at the episodes coming up. All right. So pretty much everything with Team Avatar goes the same way. I think up until the drill and drill. Yeah, the drill. Um, and so Right, they go to the desert. So they still go to the desert. Appa still gets lost, unfortunately. Man, this is a dark time. Iroh died. Appa gets lost. Heavy stuff. For
It's like the A plot
everyone
and the
is.
B plot are both very depressing,
Oh
as opposed to one of
man,
them
you know
being
what
slightly
though? This
more.
is. But you have an interesting thing here. You have Aang dealing with sort of his loss, and you have Zuko dealing with his loss. Great storytelling there. Great dichotomy
It
there.
is, but part of having an A plot and a B plot is that most of those episodes have one side that's not totally depressing, and I think within the
That is
context of the
true.
show, that's probably a good thing. But that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, this is depressing. Iroh's dead. Um, all right. So Azula still goes to the Fire Nation. So Zuko has no idea about the War of the White Lotus because they didn't do that. He didn't really learn about that until later, a couple of episodes later. But I think he can still get into Ba Sing Se as refugee. And
He's a
that's
smart
probably where
guy.
he
He's
meets
gonna
up
figure it
with.
out.
Yeah, he also figure out, all right, where's like he's probably thinking to himself, all right, Azula's tracking Aang. Okay, well now I have to track Aang. Well, I know how to track Aang. I've done that for almost a year now. So he's tracking Aang, but he's tracking Azula. So he realizes that Azula's about to say he's not going after Aang, but he just knows that Azula's following Aang. So that's how he gets to Ba Sing Se. Then he, man, I want to say he meets up with Jet still,
Ew, gross.
and
But
I
yeah,
both.
no, it's fine. It's fine. Let's bring Jed into all of our conversations. And then Jet
And him and
dies.
Jet, yeah, but him and Jet are like he's in the pod right now because they're both all out for
Okay,
vengeance.
now that you say
I
that, I
thought, well,
actually do
Jet,
kind of sort of like that a little bit.
yeah,
Like you got two just vengeance minded monsters together.
yeah, it's like who, like they're, it's almost like misery loves company kind of deal. Like they're not good for each other because they just feed each other's worst
Yeah.
things,
Oh, and that's gonna
worst
get them to
intentions.
Azula. Okay, so I know I don't want to skip the details in between because I know there's things I need to fill in, but I'm arriving at a place where at the end of season 2 that yes, Zuko does join quote unquote Team Avatar sooner by nature of making the opposite choice that he makes, I think, and I'm
Hmm.
interested. But like I said, I know I skipped over a bunch of detail as to how we get there in the first place. And I kind of like Jet's involvement. That's good character building when Zuko's
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, this maybe isn't good for me.
yeah, and then I mean, eventually though, the Dai Li will catch on to one of them, and they'll probably take Jet again. So does Zuko try to break Jet? Ooh, does
That's how
Zuko
Zuko
try to?
gets to like the climax with Azula. Like that's how he
Yeah.
finds Lake Laogai and
Yes.
all that stuff, like tracking Jet
Yeah.
being caught by the
Yes.
Dali.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, but he's stuck though. He has a dilemma. He knows where Jet's at. He knows where Azula's at. Does he take vengeance and going after Azula,
Yes.
or does he,
What would
or
Jet
does
want
he
him to
try
do,
to say,
Chris?
man,
Jet
that's
would
a
be
good
like
question.
vengeance, you know.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I think this is it,
Um.
in especially in this storyline and especially with the Jet piece. Like I'd argue pretty hard he would go vengeance.
So the thing is, when does Aang? So like Aang has to be the one that takes Zuko off the ledge. Like he has to be the one that's like, we have to save Jet. Like that's what we have to do. Like vengeance
That's
isn't
bonding step
always the
one,
answer.
not complete Zuko, but that's
Yes.
hey, hear me out. And then
Yeah.
Zuko, because Zuko's
And
still not pro Aang, right? Like just because
yeah, he's
Azula killed
not
Iroh, it's not like Zuko's like drop everything, Aang's good now. No, like they're still like
yeah, combative or at least apprehensive.
he's still
Um,
apprehensive to Aang or of Aang even.
yeah. Um, yeah, so anyway, Azula, everything with Azula goes pretty much as planned. She gets beat at the drill, then she infiltrates she pretends to be a Kyoshi warrior. Um, and I guess Zuko, that big climactic fight in the episode, like Lao guy, Zuko is probably also there. I know I'm missing a little nits and stuff,
No, but I
but
think we're doing a
that's
pretty good
also
job of like a cohesive storyline
yeah.
that gets us
Um,
to the Lake Lao guy
yeah. So
episode.
I think he probably him and Aang save Jet, but somehow Azula. I mean, Azula still has to die Lee, and Aang
Uh-huh.
probably still has to go into the Avatar state to try and save them, and then Azula probably still strikes down.
I want
Aang,
that part to be true, and maybe it's Zuko's so maybe Zuko makes the different choice, like the anti-Azula choice, but like I want his
mhm.
indecision to be part of the reason that Aang gets hit. Like I want something with his
I
hesitation to be the cause, and now like
yeah.
he's kind of following Team Avatar. They're kind of super apprehensive of him because he's still Zuko, and they don't really know what's going on in his head. And his like hesitation, his moment of weakness, just like
Hmm.
got Aang shot. But then he's there, and then you got some real like tense new Team Avatar moments
Yeah.
with Vengeance Zuko. So he's there earlier, but he's
Hmm.
still like he's not there like, yeah, I'm a good guy now. Yeah, not quite.
Oh yeah. No, not yet. But it's Jet. So in this case, Jet survives everything,
No, he
right?
doesn't. He's
Probably.
dead.
He's. I don't know if you're kidding or you're just.
Nope, I'm not kidding. He's dead. Don't worry about it.
Wait, how does he? How does he?
Crossfire, Chris. I don't know.
Probably.
Casualty of war. He's dead. Don't worry about it.
I mean, that would be if. Huh? Does Azula kill
Azula
Jet?
killed him, and then also Iroh and no, Iroh's already. Azula killed him, and then shoots Aang, and Jet's dead, and that's all that matters. Ty Lee agent kills him, Chris. It's okay. Don't you dare bring Jet back. I'm not
I mean,
trading
it.
Iroh's life for Jet's life, Chris. That ain't right.
I'm just trying to think of the logical reasoning why Jet would be killed and how it affects Zuko's
Maybe
character.
maybe he follows
Um,
Zuko to this fight, but then he can just like again, he's not a bender and he's surrounded by some of the better earthbenders in the Earth Kingdom.
he's Jet's very capable.
You're
Um,
still talking about a guy with a couple of hooky sword things against a
yeah,
bunch of earthbenders and
he
Azula.
he beat Aang. Like I do think the most sense is that
Aang's
Azula
non-combative, that doesn't count. Caught Aang off guard.
Azula Azula probably kills Jet, and that's just like even more fuel for Zuko's fire. He's even more enraged.
Love
And he
it.
gets to a point where, oh, you know what? He gets to the point he gets so pissed off and enraged is that he's out of control and he's like doing friendly fire on people. People like Zuko, calm down. Like he is mad.
He's
And
torching like Avatar people. He's aiming at Azula. He's
yeah,
catching Dali people on fire. It's
like
indiscriminate.
things are. Ooh, you know what? Maybe he accidentally. No, never mind. I was like, maybe he accidentally shoots Aang, but that can't happen. Or maybe he tries to do
I think
lightning.
that
No,
would
Iroh's never taught him lightning. Also, Iroh never taught him lightning redirection at that point either.
I think he
So
can
that might
figure
come
out
up
lightning
later.
redirection with some.
Nah, because he had no. That's a thing that Iroh invented himself that he's never told anyone else. Zuko wouldn't have the thought at all of how to do lightning redirection.
We can't throw in like a
You would.
flashback of Iroh trying really hard to teach
Well,
Zuko how to
he would have
breathe and
never.
let lightning pass through him.
He would have never taught him. He didn't start teaching him until the episode right after he died.
What if we
In this
do
case,
a like a Miyagi wax on wax off where he thinks back to this lesson? He's like, oh, that whole time Iroh was trying to teach me how to redirect lightning. He was just masking it as something else that had to do with wax on wax off.
oh, that'll be a stretch.
It's a plot convenience.
Uh,
But he needs to be able to lightning bend, doesn't he? I mean, I guess he does
I mean,
if Iroh dies and he can't learn it,
I
but
mean, yeah. He still doesn't know how. He never learns how to lightning bend. He knows how to redirect, which is slightly two different. Well, two different things. But anyway, Jet dodges. Azula kills him. Then Zuko
Good.
goes crazy. Then he ends up interrupting Aang's avatar
What if he
state
rage lightning
thing,
bends?
and then that. So I was thinking that also, but he's never even. Again, that episode right after Iroh starts to teach him how to do these things, so he has no idea
But
at
has he
all how to
seen it?
even.
Has he seen lightning bending occur whatsoever?
Yeah, Azula's done it, so maybe
Yeah.
sure he tries it.
And he just like
I
brute
mean,
forces it and hurts himself and or hurts Aang. I don't really want him to hurt Aang because then I think
yeah,
Team Avatar is like, no, you can't come with us, you clown. You just kill
yeah,
Aang.
yeah.
Like that's too strong.
I think he goes crazy. Either it's firebending or it's lightning back in his face, whatever, doesn't matter. But whatever he does knocks Aang off his concentration, hence giving Azula a distraction to strike Aang down with her lightning. So in a
Love
way,
that.
he still has some redemptive things.
Uh huh.
Anyway, they all get away just like they do, but and they bring Zuko with them because it's like, well,
Well,
whatever, we'll
he
just
kind
take
of
Zuko with
chooses
us.
to go with them. Not that they don't allow him, but like he more
Yeah.
imposes
And
himself.
I think Katara's the one, oh gosh, not to feed. Hey, what happened? What
My
happened?
bad.
Stream
Sorry.
pause.
Nope, my fault.
Did you hit a button?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Still back on?
Yep. Still good.
Okay. So then I think so Katara's point is still like somewhat trusting of Zuko. So I think she's like, Zuko, let's go. So, Zuko, you get up
That's
like
true. He
she's
never betrayed her
still trying
after
to
that, moment.
yeah.
Okay.
So there you go, Zutara fans. You guys have a
Oh,
more of a
I
chance.
already
This
hate this.
is
No, I think we should
that's
quit
all
now.
right.
I think we're done here.
Uh so at this point they retreat back to the wherever they were to start season three. And Zuko is trying to teach Aang how to fire him, but it won't work because he's like too raged. He's way too enraged for this. And Aang's like, I can't learn under these. Like, that's not how I bend. I don't bend from rage.
I
So
can't
Zuko has to
learn
go on
this
some type
like
of spiritual journey.
anger combustion you got going on here.
Yeah. So Zuko has to go on some type of somewhat spiritual journey, whether that is first meeting maybe Master Piandao, because Sokka still needs to learn, so maybe that helps. Also, he knows Master Piandao, so Master Piandao probably gives
Oh, that's
him a
fun.
little
Yeah.
bit of like advice and stuff, how to
That
channel his rage.
pushes him
Um,
down the right path that he was missing some of without Iroh.
yeah. And then he
That works
probably
because it doesn't. I mean, I don't want to force it, but I like how that works just because he's a White Lotus member. I like how that
yes,
feels.
that
He's a
brings White
Fire
Lotus back in.
Nation White Lotus.
Oh, and then he connects the dots for Zuko for like your uncle was a member of the White Lotus. He talks about that.
Yeah,
So
I
that
kind
way
of
we can
like how
still bring the White
that
Lotus
ties. That's nice.
back up. Um, let's see. And I think maybe even they go and find Katara's mother's killer. And this is also part of his growing. So because he then sees Katara having some type of mercy for her mother's killer. So that this is all helping him go on this journey, and
It's
then he kind of
replacing some
capsize
of
that
those
off.
Iroh bits in chunks.
Yeah,
Maybe we get
and then
little
you cap
Iroh
it off with
flashbacks too.
yeah, and then you cap it off with the firebending masters. Uh, but oh wait, they're still on their way to invade the Fire Nation, which that can all still happen then, which I think it probably would happen then. And then they try and invade the Fire Nation on the day of Black Sun.
That would be like Zuko's metamorphosis, right? Like talking about sort of coming full circle and trying to figure out what your goal is in life. Nothing like
Ooh,
invading
you
the
know
Fire
what?
Nation.
Yeah. So they, Zuko's still kind of rage. He probably still isn't ready to teach Aang firebending quite yet, but he has to confront his father. That's what he does to really get over that and go over the spiritual journey. They
And then
invade the Fire
Dad
Nation on Day
lightning
of Black
bends at
Sun.
him, and I want him to know for lightning bending.
um,
But no, I like that a
Oh, you
lot.
know what?
That's like a that's
Yeah.
like that's the pivot where that's like his new metamorphosis in this new storyline of where it's not like, oh, you
Yeah.
know what, maybe vengeance isn't all it's cracked up to be. Maybe my dad is an objective dick, which is a new insult on Westeros.
Nice. But I think it'll be like right. So Aang, Sokka, Toph, and Sokka, they're like in the financial royal palace, and they have a fork in the road. Like, all right, either Azula's down, either his dad is down this hall or down this hall, and so they split up. Aang is trying to reach the Fire Lord, and actually Zuko is trying to reach Azula because he wants to take out Azula, but they end up being swapped. He reaches his father, and so he confronts his father. Then at that point, he thinks he could take Azula because he has a sword and stuff, and he talks with the father. He gets over. He's like, "No, you are an objective dick, and I didn't
Objectively
deserve
speaking,
this. You
Skip.
didn't. Yeah. You didn't deserve my love. You didn't deserve my mother's love." And then he's like, "Your mother's still alive." It's like, what? And then that puts a little bit of hope back in him. Maybe just a
It's like a
little
seed
bit of
of
hope.
good being
Because you can't,
planted that stupid Ozai didn't even realize that he was like pushing him over
yeah,
the edge. Oh, I like
yeah.
that.
Uh, so then they have this huge loss because they lost the Dave Black Sun still. And then Zuko on this metamorphosis, he starts to really lose because he's not as rageful. He starts to lose some of that how his where he took his firebending from. They go to the firebending masters. Yeah, I'm putting it back over here now. That all
uh,
goes, and then after this point,
very similar at this point.
yeah.
We just had a
And
different,
White
again, a
Lotus,
different journey.
yeah, White Lotus still gets together. I don't think Iroh was like the deciding factor in that fight.
If
So
the
I think they
audience wants
still,
to make a case otherwise, I would understand. But I would say that you could write a good, compelling story without Iroh being the deciding factor in that fight.
yeah,
It's
they all
still,
seem like they were holding their own. There was
yeah,
never a moment where they're like, this fight is really close. They handled Fire Nation and Bossing Set.
yeah.
So
I think they're gonna be okay.
yeah, so I think the story of Avatar: Last Airbender is pretty similar, perhaps. And then Legend of Korra, we're just opened up a whole can of worm there. Is Iroh in limbo? Does he transcend at some point?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on
I'll
the
just
Iroh is dead
yeah,
train for this question, and I don't want to spend forever
yeah.
like rewriting all of Korra, but I think we should at least try to like, okay, what does Korra run into that's like substantial or significant to pass on
Well,
this lesson?
she got stuck in the spirit world as a little potbelly Korra,
As
and Iroh was the one who really talked her down from it. I mean, she could eventually find someone to. I think she'll
but
eventually find a way through.
but who is
The
that
spirit world is
someone?
vast. Who is that someone?
I want it to be someone meaningful. Like that's part of what makes the story good is that you run into
So I think it
somebody.
would be. I think Tenzin will eventually let go of his uh,
There's okay.
perceptions of what.
This is gonna sound weird, but I hope you react big to it. But I kind of want it to be. No, what the hell is his name? The the villain from the third season? What the hell is his name?
Zahir?
Zahir. What if it was like Zahir and it
Well,
was like a foreshadowing, but like a different form of Zahir or some kind of spirit of Zahir? And
oh,
he like breeds her up a little bit. He's like, yeah, you got to go through these trials and get out of here, and then I'm gonna cook you up, and then later when I break out of prison, I'm gonna kill you in the Avatar state. But you don't know that yet. It's just good foreshadowing. He doesn't even have to
I'm
look
just
like
curious
Zahir.
why.
It can be a like a disembodied Zahir spirit somehow. That would be okay.
I'm just curious why he would help Cora
I think you
in
can
that
work a plot in there of
manner.
like, listen, I got to keep Korra alive and well until I get out of prison.
Yeah, but he doesn't really. Like to me,
But
he
he
would
does. He
like if
doesn't.
Cora. Because to me, he doesn't do anything for the glory. He just does it for the end result. So he doesn't care who kills Cora.
But he
So
can't wait for the
I
next
don't know.
one.
Or maybe he has. Okay, well, no.
He can't wait for the next Avatar to come around and be old enough to hit Avatar State and figure out who it is and kill that person. Can he?
No, but I'm saying he wouldn't. There would be any reasoning for him to help Korra defeat Luna,
To gain her
especially this case where
trust.
he's stuck in prison. Yeah, but he like right now he has no way out of prison, and he has no airbending. To me, he's stuck in prison, and he thinks he's stuck in prison. If his goal is that the Avatar should be dead, this is the easiest way
In
if
the
Luna just
Avatar
went ahead and killed her.
State.
Oh wait, you're right. She does have to be in the Avatar state.
And
That okay.
he cares a lot more about that.
She would have to be in order for his plan to be right, to be correct. She would have to be in Avatar. All right,
It's
okay,
still
sure, I can buy
loose.
it.
It's still loose. I just wanted it to be an exciting, like Shyamalan twist in book 3.
Don't you know Shyamalan doesn't mix well with Avatar, Shawn?
What? Good catch. But who else could it be? Also, I still want to be, for story reasons, I want it to be somebody impactful. Tenzin, I could see.
I think it could be Tenzin getting over his own idea of what he should be, and finally be able to reach that spiritual enlightenment. Fenora's already trapped. She can't help. Boomy.
Oh, Boomy would be kind of funny to run into Boomy in this world. Or
yeah, sure, Boomy.
What about another member of the White Lotus, like a Piandao? Right, we've kind of used Piandao as a spiritual replacement, sort of in one spot already. John.
Yeah.
It's not all that important. I would just want it to be impactful. Like, that's half the fun, is you get so hype when you see that familiar face in there.
Yeah.
But
I was really hyped. I was thinking about that today, how I was really hyped when that happened.
So we're not going to achieve that level of hype with another character, but I still want that to be there really bad. But if that happens,
Is
find the right person.
Is your microphone weird?
Is my microphone weird?
You sound like one of those those hidden voices. I can't tell. Anyway, it's like blah, 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 blah.
We are a little choppy. The video quality is a little choppy, or the internet or whatever is a little choppy.
Okay.
Hopefully it records my side and not what you're hearing. But
that's true.
Yeah, we can't match Iroh levels of hype, but it would be nice to scratch that itch at least a little bit. I like Piandao. I feel like that guy can achieve enlightenment.
Oh, it could be Princess
I like
UA.
that. Get another empowered
Water Tribe princess.
I kind of like that. That's nice, Chris. Yeah. Way to bring her back in the story. Yeah, that's better than any idea I've had so far. And then maybe beyond that point, nothing really changes, other than that rough substitution, but hopefully passing on the same lessons.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything that we are overlooking?
I don't think so.
I feel like we've crafted a pretty compelling substitute. I'm not saying I would pick it over the original because I don't want Iroh to die. But if we go to last week and we get to kill Iroh, like somebody suggested, I don't remember who that was.
I don't know.
We get to kill that guy.
You weren't trying to kill Appa.
This would be. That's the idea, Chris. It's supposed to move you. This would be a viable substitute, and I think we've crafted a decent retelling. I don't have anything else, and we got another episode to record, if I'm going to be honest. So, Chris, final thoughts? If not, let's get out of here.
Thank you for the suggestion, Outlaw Cowboy.
Outlaw Cowboy and Objective Dick, OC to OD suggestion. I like that. Thank you very much. Hey, if you have other what if ideas, we like talking these things through. Let us know down in the comments. I'm Shawn. That's Chris. We are Avatar The Last Podcasters, and we will see you next time.
You sound like L from this. Anyway,
L
let
from
me turn
what?
on my Wi-Fi. There's you ever seen Death Note?
It's not familiar to me. Just for the
Oh,
record, we're still
it's-
recording.